flags will likely be down to threads at the end of this one today. You cannot overlook the elements. It is a frigid November Saturday afternoon here from Lawrence, Kansas, and with just an awful wind chill, it feels like it's nearly 20 degrees. West Virginia and Kansas here from Memorial Stadium. Good afternoon and welcome, Aaron Goldsmith alongside Brian Baldinger. And Baldy, as we can see our breath here today in Lawrence, you think about West Virginia and you think about this air raid passing attack, maybe throwing the ball in upwards of 50 times a game. But that has not been the case for Dana Holgerson's offense lately. They've been running it nearly 50 times a game.
Well, you know, and that's the best method for them to win. I give Dana Holgerson a ton of credit because he's leaning on the run game, and he should, because he's got two really talented running backs in Wendell Smallwood, who went over 1,000 yards rushing in the win against Texas last week, and then Russell Shell. You'll see both of them today. Power running, especially in the elements that we'll see today. That's the best way for West Virginia to continue this win streak, which is at 2 in a row right now. And for Kansas, they're led by their fourth different starting quarterback this year, a freshman, Ryan Willis from Kansas City, and he's getting better. He's thrown a touchdown pass in each of the last 6 games. It'll be a challenge in this win today, but he's a young, fiery leader, playing a lot of freshmen, and we're going to see him compete today. We'll see how he can throw this ball in this wind or this breeze today.
You're right about that. 20-mile-an-hour winds here in Lawrence. The Mountaineers and the Jayhawks are coming up next. A few moments ago, the Mountaineers taking the field here in Lawrence, Kansas. West Virginia trying to win their 3rd game in a row. The Jayhawks, meanwhile, 0-10, looking for their first win of the season, trying to avoid what would be the Jayhawks' first winless season since the mid-50s. Is today the day? Well, they took down the Mountaineers a couple of years ago here in Lawrence. David Beatty looking for his first win as KU head coach from Wiley, Texas. It's his 3rd stint with the Jayhawks, but his first season as the head coach of Kansas. On the other side, in his 5th season, Dana Holgerson took over in 2011. The Orange Bowl season, the win against Clemson for West Virginia. And has he ever changed up the look of his offense in recent weeks? Kansas won, the Jayhawks deferred. West Virginia will receive as Mr. Everything, Matthew Wyman. He punts, he kicks off, kicks field goals, he'll kick it away.
And he's got the wind at his back, and the wind is going to be a factor today in this game, and this ball should get sailed right through the end zone. And it doesn't, because the wind knocked it down.
On one skip. Out just beyond the 20. Devon Durant. And that's where West Virginia will set up shop on their opening possession to begin the game today.
West Virginia led by Skylar Howard, quarterback that has started every single game this year. A dual threat, a guy that's not afraid to run the ball. In fact, Dana Holgerson likes to run him early, kind of sometimes get him hit early. Sometimes it says he will knock the sense into him.
A run on first down, no surprise there. As they hand to Wellman instead of going to Smallwood, who's been the featured back all season. Has had a couple of awfully big games for the Mountaineers in recent weeks.
Well, Wellman is more like their fullback, but a capable runner. Ran for his first touchdown of his career last week.
And once again, they feed Wellman, who loses the ball, and it's loose. And it looks like the Mountaineers is able to get on top of it.
Well, that's what happens when you don't get the ball very much. In fact, that was only his 4th carry of the season as the left guard, Adam Pankey, got on the ball, but it's cold weather, and that's what happens when it's cold and no gloves. In fact, Wellman was out there on the field before the game with no shirt on, braving the elements, but that's just a flat-out drop.
Sets up 3rd and 14. Howard trying to escape. And it'll be 3 and out for West Virginia on their first possession.
Yeah, well, that's a frustrating start for Dana Holgerson. It kind of went away from, I thought, what has been carrying this team, the running of a guy like Wendell Smallwood, who didn't touch it in the opening series.
That's surprising.
Nick O'Toole is going to be kicking into a gusting wind. We'll see what it does to this first punt.
And he's got the strongest leg in the Big 12, averaging nearly 45 yards per punt this season. There's Parmalee. And Parmalee tracked down. What an open field tackle there on the coverage by Douglas. So a quick possession for West Virginia to start things off, and it'll be handed over to the Jayhawks and their young freshman, Ryan Willis, a true freshman who has risen from the very bottom of the depth chart to become the all-time freshman passing leader in school history.
Impressive numbers last week. A game that at TCU where they took the Frogs to a brink, only lost by 6 points, a couple chances in the fourth quarter to win that game.
They hand to Cox on first down. Good penetration there by West Virginia.
You know, I saw this team against Iowa State about the fourth week of the season, and I don't think any team has improved more in the country than the Kansas Jayhawks. Don't be fooled by the 0-10 record. This is a young team that has gotten a lot better.
Play action. Quick strike over the middle inside of West Virginia territory, and now it's the Jayhawks who cough it up.
Yep.
West Virginia easily jumping on top of it.
It was the safety, Drayvon Askew-Henry, who knocked that ball loose. This is going to be a quick strike here by Willis to Trey Parmalee, their leading receiver. It looked like it was more Terrell Chestnut who knocked that ball loose. And this is a team that preys upon takeaways. That's their 23rd takeaway of the season, 7th fumble recovery.
Anything about what West Virginia did last week at a win against Texas? They forced 5 turnovers to the Longhorns, and they forced one early here today on the Jayhawks' first possession. It's time to Smallwood, and he's right away inside of Jayhawks territory. His first carry today.
Well, he was in the pistol formation on that carry right behind Howard, and it's a kid that's averaging 6.7 yards a carry in the Big 12 here.
14 on first down. Howard, design keeper. Baldy, how about we take a look at today's Academy Sports Right Stuff impact players?
Well, for West Virginia, you got to look at the wide receiver, Shelton Gibson. He leads the nation in yards per reception, 23 yards a catch. Got 7 touchdowns on the season. And for Kansas, Fish Smithson, the safety, leads the Big 12 with 100 tackles. Leads the nation almost 8 solo tackles a game.
Howard once again keeps it. Howard's got room on the edge. He's still going.
Well, Dana Holgorsen said that he likes to get Skylar Howard some runs early so they can get hit. It sort of wakes him up. But this is just good blocking all the way to the edge. Picks up another block here. It looks like he just was running out of gas or leaking a little bit of oil as he kind of fell out of bounds.
It's a pickup of 36. Sets up 1st and 10. This time they give to Shell. Dances around and leans forward.
It was interesting in the fourth quarter last week in their win against Texas. West Virginia didn't throw one pass. In fact, one was called, and Skylar Howard changed it to a run, and the offensive guards came over to Dana and said, don't call any passes, we're going to run it all down. And here it is.
Shell leans upfield, he's in for the touchdown. Drastically different drive, their second drive than their first.
Well, there's the running attack that we talked about at the open, Aaron. That's Dana Holgorsen, who doesn't mind calling these runs, put his hands around his quarterback saying, look, you did a good job. You know, you did a good job handing it off and running it. Plan on doing a whole lot more of that today.
There is Nick O'Toole. Pardon me, Josh Lambert. Lambert, last year an All-American, drives his right down the middle. It's 7-0 West Virginia. It was the forced fumble to set things up And then a couple of big runs. Smallwood for 14, Howard for 36. 5 plays, all on the ground, 7-0 Mountaineers. Well, for Dana Holgerson, the blueprint for the last couple of weeks. Employing it early today. 5 plays, all on the ground. As 63 yards they cover in just over 90 seconds. Shell taking it in from 8 yards out as we take a look at the Bank of America scoring drive.
Russell Shell, one of the greatest running backs in Pittsburgh history, broke all of Tony Dorsett's record out of Aliquippa. Former teammate of mine with the Cowboys, ran himself to the Hall of Fame, and Shell came out of high school with those kind of accolades.
This is O'Toole to kick it away. Inside the 5, Cox takes it out.
Ooh, there's a collision.
Big hit, especially on a cold day. And speaking of cold days, staying warm down on the sideline, no doubt. We check in with Leslie McCaslin.
Well, guys, neither team seemed to be concerned about the cold, though it does seem like they're having a hard time holding on to the ball. They were both concerned about the wind. 20 miles an hour, 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Dana Holgerson told us he would go for it a lot more on 4th down. David Beatty said the same, but then he said, heck, we may go for it on 4th down every time. Guys, it'll be interesting to see how it affects this game today.
Well, there's no question about that.
Stay warm down there, Leslie. Some of the fans not bothered by it. Saw a lot of players warming up without their shirts on today because it is just a mindset.
Quick hitter out towards the sideline. Looking for Parmalee.
This was earlier today. Elijah Wellman, the fullback, tailback, nothing to it. Cody Clay, the tight end. Got a smile on his face. You know, maybe they're just trying to get a little sun before the game today.
It's easier to smile when you're numb. Isn't that right, Baldy? It's just a mindset, right?
It's a mindset, yeah.
You make it sound awfully easy.
Well, I mean, it is a mental thing. That's all it is. Sun's out today. It's a good day for football.
Play action and picked off. Headed back to the house. And what a pick 6 that time. It was Chestnut who forced the fumble. A pick 6 of 32 yards. Another turnover.
Yeah, I mean, the 17th interception of the year. That leads the Big 12, and Dana Holgerson's got to love it. Ryan Willis here. Little play action. That wind could be holding the ball up, but Terrell Chestnut just stepped right in front of him, the redshirt senior, and took that one back to the house. And I'm a little surprised that Kansas has come out here throwing the ball in these kind of elements.
Josh Lambert, 14-0. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers for the Jayhawks. As West Virginia has put 14 up on the board awfully fast here today in Lawrence.
Now we're back here in Lawrence, Kansas with West Virginia up 14-0. This is how they got there, with their 17th interception of the year by that young man, Terrell Chestnut, who just picks Ryan Willis. Here he is on the outside. He's going to be looking right back at the quarterback here, what we call cluing. Looking at the quarterback, and the receiver steps right in front of it. And this is just the plain old pick 6. Kansas coming out throwing, and they probably have a lot of regrets about doing so against a very stingy secondary here of West Virginia.
A little surprising to see Kansas throwing so much early. Here is Cox on the return. And Baldy, our Academy Sports Right Stuff Impact players today.
Yeah, and for Kansas, it's Trey Parmalee, their leading receiver, who caught the first pass of the game, but then was fumbled by a hit on Terrell Chestnut. And then Nick Kwiatkowski, who leads this team in tackles. He has done that before for West Virginia. Number 35, rarely, if ever, comes off the field for the West Virginia Mountaineer defense.
Kwiatkowski, leading tackler, starting his 34th straight game, as this is almost intercepted.
Wow.
Looking that time for Kent Taylor.
Well, I guess the best way for a young freshman to put an interception for a touchdown out of your head is to come back and try to make amends and make another throw. But right in the passing lane that time was the linebacker.
Ryan Willis at this time last year was getting set for the high school football playoffs in Kansas City. As he lost this, and it's almost hauled in right by the sideline. Well, that was close, looking for Booker. Big target, true freshman out of College Station.
Jeremiah Booker went up and tried to make a DeAndre Hopkins catch that you saw on Monday Night Football. One-handed shields the defender on the play. Did everything but just bring it into the body. And you can see where Rick Rump there was able to get the ball out at the last second. Kansas just continues to throw the ball, and here they are in an empty set with 5 receivers out there.
Now they have to on 3rd and 10. Looking left, gets rid of it quickly, and wrapped up right in front of the 30. Not much room to run there for Sims.
Well, they dropped 8 into coverage, and there isn't many places to throw it down the field as Ryan Willis gets his first completion of the day. But this is surprising to see Kansas come out and throwing the football. Obviously, that's what they thought the best method to move the ball against West Virginia was, but I think you just got to factor these conditions in here when you come up with that game plan.
Wyman puts his foot into it. There is Dillon, dropped just in front of the 25. Last possession, 5 plays, all on the ground. Smallwood and Shell. It was Shell who took it in for the touchdown. We'll see what this ground attack for West Virginia has when we come back. Fox College Football is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Ford, the Friends and Neighbors pricing event is happening now at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Bariatric Solutions, your team for successful weight loss. The ground assault continues at Smallwood, his second carry, and he's nearly got a first down.
You know, right now Kansas is playing what you call a 2-deep shell. Both safeties are well off the ball, protecting along against a big pass. I mean, here they are back here. They should be much closer to the line of scrimmage to try and stop. Well, there they are.
First completion of the day for West Virginia.
Akil Short, the leading receiver.
Shorts last week, 4 catches, a touchdown versus Texas. First catch today goes for 14 yards.
And West Virginia looking sharp offensively, doing pretty much anything they want to do.
Howard up the middle.
Gave his center, Tyler Orlowski, a little bit of a shoulder shove. There was no linebackers in the middle of the field. And Skylar Howard just had that green light. If there's nobody in the middle, just a little quarterback draw.
Now just chunks of big yards, that one for 9. Last week, not a whole lot was asked of Howard, although he did account for 3 touchdowns. He only threw the ball 12 times. He did complete 10 of them. He's got 45 yards on the ground today. Only need a yard. First down for West Virginia. Now, we didn't see Smallwood get many carries, Baldy, in the opening drive, but that has changed course a little bit in the last 2.
Well, they're going to feed him. I mean, that's their best offensive player. Very talented kid. One thing Dana said was he wanted to show him the end zone. He said he needs to get there a lot more often.
Play action. Deep strike over the middle, but incomplete, looking for Gibson.
And here's Dana Holgerson, who's got his play chart there. He's got no gloves. Because he said he can't, because he's got to be able to give all those signals, his sign language to his quarterback. And so now he's got to find a way to keep him warm after he gives the signals.
Now that is some serious sign language to his left. You don't need gloves if you've got that, you would think, but not the case.
Sign language marries the pictures.
The give to Smallwood. Smallwood last week went over 1,000 yards on the season in the first quarter against the Longhorns. Ran for 165 yards total.
Yeah, season high. And he just got better and stronger as the game went on.
Now he's run for a season high in each of the last 2 weeks. 165 last week, nearly 7 yards a carry, and for 163 the week before against Texas Tech. Again to Smallwood. Ankle tackle finally brings him down.
Somebody lost the helmet, so they're going to have to leave the field for a play. That's Tony Mateo, a guard here. Watch this thing just open up inside, right behind the left tackle, Marquise Lucas. They're going to have to drop those safeties down to stop this running game right now. They're too deep, and the front 7 can't stop it.
Well, Smallwood averaging 8 yards a carry. Wide hole up the middle, tiptoeing all the way into the end zone. Second touchdown on the day for Rochelle Shell.
Number 7, Rochelle Shell.
This is the definition of far too easy and nothing like we have seen. I mean, this thing is just going to split right up the middle here. You can see both linebackers are going to the outside, and they're running up the middle out of that inverted wishbone, and Shell gets his second touchdown run of the day. Right now, Kansas isn't playing anything like they did a week ago against TCU.
Last year, Shell went over 100 yards and a touchdown against the Jayhawks. Off to a good start today, as Lambert makes it 21-0 here in the first quarter. Shell, his second touchdown. This one from 26 yards out, nearly untouched.
Oh, West Virginia up 21-0 in the first quarter. And here's what happened the last touchdown run. There's Marquise Roberts, who's inside right here. He's just going to go take himself right out of the play right now. You know, you've got to be able to stay patient, find the football, and they have struggled all year to stop the run with linebackers guessing inside. You can't guess against a powerful running offense like West Virginia.
A pick six, 2 touchdowns on the ground from Shell, and it's quickly 21-0 in favor of West Virginia. Chandler on the return for the Jayhawks as Kansas tries to get something going offensively.
Well, they've come out throwing the football. The first throw was completed from Willis to Parmalee, and then Parmalee had the ball stripped out of his hands, and then they threw a pick six, and they're not completing the balls, and really that was their game plan. They wanted to probably throw it with the wind at their back, which it is, but Ryan Willis has gotten off to a rough start.
Willis kind of epitomizes what this offense has gone through this year. Kansas has started 26 different players on offense this season, and so many of them freshmen. Toss to Kenner, trying to get upfield, crunched, and a flag is down.
Little toss that time, trying to get Kenner into space, their leading rusher on the season.
That was Shaq Pettaway with the big hit.
Yeah.
One of the top tacklers for the Mountaineers.
Holding defense, number 93. 10-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Well, that's the nose tackle, Kyle Rose, and you don't see that very often. Nose tackles getting called for holding. I mean, that's their job inside, is kind of hold up offensive linemen so the linebackers like Pettaway can go make the play. A rare call on any level of football.
Now the Jayhawks will take it, moves the ball forward, 1st and 10. They hand to Cox. Not a whole lot of daylight up the middle. Cox is a 6-year senior, missed 2 full seasons with injuries, playing for the first time this year since 2012.
And he's running behind an offensive line that features 3 true freshman offensive linemen. McCauley at left guard, Bragg at left guard, and McCauley at left tackle, and Hughes at right tackle. Not a great formula to be able to run the football.
On play action, pressure, drop, rip down. Christian Brown off the defensive end. Just rips Willis right to the turf.
And he just came inside untouched. Just a protection breakdown. Willis is looking the other way. He's expecting his backside to be protected. I mean, he's just coming from this side right here, just inside. Left tackle McCauley went outside. Bragg, the left guard, went inside. and Brown came free.
Loss of 7 makes it 3rd and 17. Deep to the sideline, and he overthrows out of bounds his intended target. Looking that time for Bobby Hartzog Jr.
Yeah, well, he's a deep threat, Hartzog, but you got to at least keep the ball in bounds and give Hartzog a chance to make the play.
So the Jayhawks caught a break on the defensive holding penalty, but then could not cash in. A loss of 7 on the sack. And now Matthew Wyman will punt it away. Jennings on the fair catch. West Virginia's already dropped 21 points here in the first half, and Shell Baldy has taken it in twice.
Yeah, 2 touchdown runs. They said that they've really become a power running football team, and they're showing that today. Back-to-back wins against Texas Tech in Texas, and Dana Holgorsen, who went through the meat of the Big 12 conference with 4 ranked teams in a row, starting at Oklahoma, overtime lost Oklahoma State, went to Baylor, gave up 62 points there, lost badly at TCU, and said, you know what, we got to change what we're doing in order to get back in the winning track, and it's working.
Play action to the sideline to Shorts. And Brian, how impressed should we be with Dana Holgorsen, with his ability to suddenly kind of flip the coin and go to an offensive game plan that we just do not think about, we don't associate with Holgorsen or West Virginia whatsoever?
Well, I'm completely impressed because it's not his nature to run it as much as he is.
Shell again. Another first down for West Virginia.
This is the percentage of play breakdown, run and pass. They're over 60% run.
Once again to Shell.
Dana looking on his play chart, almost 60. There it is, almost 60% run right now, the most ever under Dana Holgorsen here at West Virginia. It's going up increasingly every year, but when you've got Smallwood and Shell, that's your strength.
Caught over the middle, and another first down as it's completed to Jordan Thompson, held without a catch last week against Texas.
Only 22 completions for Skylar Howard in the last 2 wins, 10 last week in that victory against Texas. They ran it 61 times in that overtime loss at Oklahoma State this year, just about a month ago.
The motion Smallwood out of the backfield. Give to Wellman. Now Wellman's already gotten more carries today than he's had all season.
Yeah, well, Dana said that, you know, he likes him. He's a big, you know, he's 235 pounds and ran for his first touchdown last week against Texas, and just feels like, you know, he's earning that right to carry the football. More than just a blocking back.
On 2nd and 2, into the air. And it's held on to, stiff arming for a first down. Jordan Thompson, his 2nd straight catch.
Kansas needs some kind of a defensive stop, anything possible right now, because West Virginia is doing whatever they want to do. They need a turnover. They need to force the ball out. They need a big play right here in the worst way, just to slow this team down. Joe Deneen Jr., the inside linebacker, love to dial up, you know, one of those hits that knocks the ball loose.
Deneen, a native son from Lawrence. Again on play action to the end zone, leaping and not caught, not held on to. Gibson lost it at the last moment.
Well, Gibson is averaging the most yards per reception in the country, and he was trying to bring down his 8th touchdown catch of the year, and it was up there for him to do it. He's got both hands on it, but he just doesn't possess it all the way through. Pretty good job by Derek Neal keeping that hand in there. You can see when he hits the ground, the ball pops loose. He wants that ball back, though.
Well, drops have been a problem at times this year for West Virginia. They give to Smallwood up the middle. Stays on his feet, and he's is in for the touchdown.
West Virginia, number 4, Wendell Smallwood.
Now, this just isn't fair at this point.
Well, Dana Holgorsen took Wendell Smallwood and showed him the end zone this week, said he should score more touchdowns. He's going down too easily, and I think that will impress his coach on that run. A nice little hug there from Holgorsen, and yeah, this is a runaway here.
West Virginia went 0-4 in October. They played the top 4 teams in the conference, looking for their 3rd straight win today to become bowl eligible. A pick 6 and 3 scores on the ground, 2 from Shell and this one from Smallwood.
Again, the linebackers just ran out of there. There's nobody in the middle of the field. A poor tackle by the safety at the end, and 3rd rushing touchdown of the day for the Mountaineers. And if I was David Beatty, I would just call my entire Kansas team into a huddle and just say, look, this is the worst effort that we've seen all year. It's unexpected, and we got to do this as a team right now. You can't look at the scoreboard, but this is unexpected. But just meeting with David Beatty yesterday and that brand new office of his, and how much energy he and all the assistant coaches had, knowing that they were improving, but I don't think he anticipated this type of performance today at all.
And you consider that last week Kansas allowed a season-low 23 points in Fort Worth against TCU. Their best performance of the season. They've allowed more than that in the first quarter today. Chandler on the return, a stutter step and dropped. Now right now, let's check in with Jenny Taft back in Los Angeles for a Fox College football game break.
Thanks, Aaron. Elsewhere in the Big 12, Iowa State visiting Kansas State. A little trickery here from the Wildcats. Glenn Gronkowski takes the pitch, passes it to Winston Dimmel. He's fired up because it's his first passing attempt ever. We are tied up at 7 between Iowa State and Kansas State, guys.
Thank you, Jenny. And for all of you who are wondering, that's the baby Gronk there at Kansas State.
They keep coming.
Yeah.
Play action. Willis able to get out of it for now. And throws it away.
You know, Ryan Willis was battling 2 pulled groin muscles last week, and he said he's gotten healthier, and it shows it.
This is Darian Howard.
Yeah,
just out of his grasp.
Gets out of the grasp with just enough mobility to get out of there to just dump that ball and get rid of it and get the second down, save the sack.
The injuries for Willis to both groins were so severe that last week in Fort Worth, David Beatty wasn't sure that Willis would be able to play at all until kickoff.
That was supposed to be a screen set up that time, and the linebacker, Jared Barber, read it, was all over. And again, Willis, all he could do was just dump the ball and go to 3rd down. They only have 1 first down here in this first quarter and 4 possessions. And that was on a penalty.
Now they find themselves 3rd and long once again. Complete and dropped. On time finding Kenner out of the backfield.
I think they've got to go for it. I mean, they're going to punt it away, but they just got to try to hang on to the football. I would think about a fake punt, anything at this point.
Got to go into the bag of tricks.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pull something out here. You can't give this ball back to West Virginia's offense this quickly.
Angling towards the sideline. And the Jayhawks will kill it. Now, right now, let's go down to the field and check in with Leslie.
Well, guys, when this West Virginia defense lost their star and their leader on defense, Carl Joseph, the team didn't recover for a few weeks. They felt like they lost a family member. And in fact, it affected their play as well. Guys were trying to do too much. But defensive coordinator Tony Gibson told us they've really settled in now. And one guy who stepped up the most was middle linebacker Jared Barber. He picked up the slack. He helped Jared Harper step into that starting role for Joseph, build him up, give him the confidence, and you see the way they're playing.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Leslie. Thank you.
Now, he was their best player. He's still going to be one of the top 3 safeties drafted in the NFL next spring. We just wish him the best of luck in his recovery.
Howard keeps it.
Well, right now, Kansas hasn't taken anything away. They haven't taken the passing game away. They haven't done anything to stop the run. They're completely off guard right now. West Virginia's dictating the tempo and pretty much doing whatever they want to do.
Under 2 minutes in the first quarter. The give to Smallwood. Flag down, takes it out to about the 40.
First mistake here by West Virginia. Going to be a holding on the outside, I believe by the wide receiver Jordan Thompson.
Offense, number 70.
Oh.
10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
They got it on Mateo that time, the offensive lineman. Only mistake by this offense so far today. he just got slapped by one of his teammates there. Don't do it again.
Last week against Texas in the first quarter, Dana Holgorsen's offense, 3 punts and a pick. What a difference a week has made for the Mountaineers.
After the penalty, second and 13 at the 19.
Hayward on the boot, and he's at the sticks and out of bounds.
There's no force over there. Off the bootleg, there's nobody from Kansas out there. Everybody bid on the play action fake, and Howard picked up the lost yardage on the holding call right away.
And gains 15 for a first down. You can see a staggering amount of first downs here in the first quarter. Howard keeps it again. He's used his legs a lot here today in the first quarter.
Well, Skylar Howard came in with 117 runs this year, and he's a big part of what makes this thing go. This power running team that has become the new identity here at West Virginia. The quarterback is about as tough a player as there is on this team.
Howard, it hangs up, contact is made, and it's intercepted.
Well, Skylar Howard tried to throw the deep ball, and the wind caught a hold of it and just knocked it down, allowed Kansas to recover.
Michael Glatzik on the pick, almost turned into a jump ball.
Yeah, this ball gets, well, it's exactly what it is. Glatzik, the safety there, came all the way over from the other side. The ball hung up there long enough, and finally Kansas has something to cheer about. They needed that in the worst way just to stop West Virginia's offense from putting up more points.
For Howard, his 9th interception in 7 conference games. Quick pass not held on to. Now towards the sideline looking for Sims once again. The passing game, Brian, for Kansas today has been a lot of that, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's either been, obviously they've thrown one to the other team right now that Ryan Willis would like to have back, but the receivers just aren't concentrating on it. And the ball's hitting them in the hands.
Willis 3 for 11. Ball dropped. West Virginia thinks they've got it. Darryl stays with Kansas.
Yeah, Darryl Worley, the corner on that play, thought he knocked it loose from Tyler Patrick. It's a catch, and fumbled the ball, goes out of bounds. I don't know if that's really a catch, though. Didn't look like Patrick had it long enough. tough to figure out in the world of football, college and pro, exactly what a catch is some Saturdays and Sundays. Worley did a good job of knocking it free.
Well, maybe the most manageable third down today so far for Kansas.
Yeah, this, I think, is going to get challenged.
The ruling on the field of a catch is under further review.
This really is a problem both in the college game and in the NFL, though, isn't it, Brian?
We see it every week. We really do. And, every week there seems to be more language that leads to the uncertainty of just what exactly it is, how long that you have to hold it. We saw Odell Beckham Jr. for the Giants the other night. Looked like he came down. They ruled it a touchdown, then they overruled it. And it's the same thing in college football. How long do you have to hold it for? You're going to see the completion here to Patrick. Got his foot down and the ball's knocked out right away.
Yeah.
It looked like an incompletion to me, just the eye test. We could slow it down and show it from all these different replays. Like you haven't held it long enough. Really looked like you just knocked it out.
What are the issues? Do you hold it long enough, and do you make some type of move while you have it in your possession?
Yeah, and what is that move? And how long do you have to hold it? It used to be we knew what it was. We knew what a catch was. We knew what a fumble was. And now we have to go underneath the hood, and you got to check with the replay officials right now to see what they determine it to be. He has it, and as soon as Worley hits him, the ball gets knocked out. My initial thought, Aaron, just looking at it, was an incompletion. Now, which would back this up to 3rd and 10 if it's ruled that way.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Catch and fumble, 3rd down.
All right.
Catch fumble.
Catch fumble out of bounds, stays with
The
Kansas.
clock will start on the ready for play.
I don't know if Dana, who comes out of the air raid system of Hal Mummy and Mike Leach, I'm not sure if he knows exactly what a catch is anymore.
So it stays 3rd and 5 for Kansas. Right through the hands. Trey Parmalee had the space to get to a 1st down. A lot of drops for Kansas. We've seen a couple for West Virginia. The Mountaineers, they've hung 28 points in the 1st quarter. A season best for West Virginia in command early here in Lawrence. Now, Brian will take a look at today's CC Pizza game summary, and unfortunately for the Jayhawks, the numbers don't lie in this game.
No, I mean, almost 200 yards rushing here just in the 1st quarter alone that they've surrendered, and that's not the defense that we saw a week ago against TCU. We saw a defense that got stops in the 4th quarter and was hitting TCU, knocked Trevon Boykin out of the game. That's a week-to-week league.
Wyman on the punt. Yeah, the Jayhawks will down it there. You look at the running game in particular. We mentioned 198 yards in the 1st quarter for West Virginia. They've had 7 runs of over 10 yards in the 1st quarter. That's approaching half of their runs.
Yeah. No, because right now, Kansas is playing their safeties deep, and so they're trying to defend with their front 6 or 7. And that has to change because they're worried about the deep pass. And I think you've got to try to stop the run first and worry about the pass later at this point. Safeties are still back deep right now on 1st down.
Shell out of the backfield, shoestring catch.
Pass is complete. Number 7.
That's really pretty similar to the defense that they ran last week at TCU with the shell. But we were wondering, at one point, would we see a safety, specifically Fish Smithson, who's one of the best tacklers in the nation, come down into the box? He does not have a tackle yet today.
Yeah, it's a mystery of how they're playing him so far off the ball. I mean, he's the one guy that shows up every week tackling. There we go.
And up to Wellman. Almost seen a lot of action here today in the 1st half.
Well, they like the size of Wellman, right from Huntington, where Marshall University is. Been a good blocker here, especially the last couple of weeks. stays in the lineup now.
Sets up 3rd and 5 for West Virginia. Howard to pass. A deep shot down the middle and well overthrows his intended target, looking for Gibson that time.
Pretty good pass rush that time by Kansas, getting to Skylar Howard. Yeah, Ben Goodwin takes a shot here. He's being held by Marquise Lucas. That kind of affected the throw. First time they've been able to get to Howard all day.
Kansas number 11, Trey Parmalee.
From the 20, Parmalee. Stretched out. And a flag is down.
It looked like Kansas was backing off an illegal block in the back, but the flag got thrown regardless.
It was a punt of 55 yards.
And well, that's the tailwind that helped Nick O'Toole.
During the return, block in the back, receiving team, number 31. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
That's on Ogdenvor. It has been all Mountaineers here in the first half. A pick 6 and 3 scores on the ground. I kind of feel like some mothers are going to be making some phone calls to their sons after seeing that shot.
I don't know, the flick squad, man. You know, like they're still healthy and
feeling good. The mindset
might be like maybe looking for a date tonight or something. Maybe that's a good way.
Is that how it's done?
Well, I mean, Jack LaLanne would be proud.
28-0 West Virginia. Skylar Howard's thrown it almost as many times here today in the first half as he did all last week against Texas. As they start out on the ground, another big hole, a lot of space. Shell shimmies out of bounds, picks up a first down. Flag comes in. Bates with the tackle to force him out.
The result of the play is a first down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness with a hit away from the play, number 12, offense. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the dead ball spot, 1st and 10.
That's on Gary Jennings, wide receiver.
Yeah, he was on the other side of the field. I don't know if I didn't see what he did. Obviously, one of the officials did. Yeah, here it is right there, that late hit. A cheap shot. Player was out of bounds already. Good call.
Howard up the middle. That has been wide open all day inside the red zone. And he's still galloping to about the 2 or 3 yard line.
It's too easy. Just too easy. Just a quarterback keeper all the way. And, you know, it's just assignment football. Got 2 backs in the backfield. They fake it here to Smallwood. There's nobody in the middle of the field. We've seen the middle open all day. Linebackers nowhere to be found. Their leading tackler not in the game, Smithson. West Virginia just taking advantage of it. This power running game that has fueled a 2-game win streak is in full gear right now.
Smallwood.
Well, they've got 3 rushing touchdowns so far today. The 4th touchdown was a pick 6 by Terrell Chestnut.
Howard, by the way, over 100 yards rushing on the day. This West Virginia team could rush for 300 yards here in the first half. They were at 198 in the first quarter. They're at 262 here for the first half. Howard to pass, wide open. Cody Clay, he's got 2 catches this year. They've both been for short yardage. They have both been in the end zone.
And they were both on plays just like that, where they sucked the whole defense up and then slide behind them. Nobody took Clay.
His other touchdown catch mid-October at Baylor. That was for a 6-yard touchdown. Fifth extra point for Josh Lambert today. West Virginia's gotten it done on the ground. They've gotten it done defensively with a pick six, and now a wide open strike to Cody Clay. West Virginia piling up the points here in Lawrence. Now still some cheerful fans here in Lawrence. 35-0 West Virginia. We take a look at our iRobot college football playoff rankings, Baldy, and you can take a look at the schedule today as well.
Well, big game in East Lansing, or at the Horseshoe today in Ohio State. See if Ohio State can stay undefeated. Obviously, Iowa staying undefeated against Purdue right now.
Give to Shell on first down. What a ground assault it has been from West Virginia here in the first half.
Well, it's just been a ground assault by West Virginia. And Shell has had a couple touchdown runs. And Dana Holgerson, it's pretty easy right now. Pretty easy calling plays when they're running the football like this.
West Virginia is averaging nearly 9 yards per play. Howard through the air to Thompson.
Howard's thrown the ball well in this wind here today. With the ball, he's had one that floated up in the air, but for the most part, he's been able to put it where he wants to put it.
First down for West Virginia. They've already rushed for more yards than their season average here today. Over 260 yards, make it 271 officially.
Well, you know, the excuse here for Kansas is they've played 39 players. First time they've ever played for Kansas, and they've started 33 different players, you know, that have never played a game at Kansas before this season. So a ton of freshmen that are playing out there, and they've never, ever gotten off to a start this poorly before. So how do they respond? How does some of these young kids like Dorrance Armstrong, a defensive end, respond under these conditions?
To Shorts. There's big chunks of yardage all day long so far for West Virginia. Another first down.
Keel Shorts, their leading receiver, slot receiver, going to the left side right now. All the cornerbacks for Kansas are playing off. So the short passing game is there.
17th first down for West Virginia. It is about as lopsided as it gets here in the first half. Underthrown. Looking that time for Gibson. They've tried to get it to Gibson a couple of times here in the first half. More than a couple.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to see the corners just way off. Respecting the speed of Gibson. As much speed as any receiver in the Big 12. And just can't bring that ball off the hop.
And you can understand Gibson averaging 23 yards a catch. One of the best in the nation in that regard. To give to Smallwood. Joe Deneen in on the tackle.
Joe Deneen grew up right here in Lawrence, Kansas. His uncle, the best man in Clint Bowen's wedding. Clint Bowen, the defensive coordinator last year, as interim head coach.
Deneen, a former high school quarterback here in Lawrence, has spent some time even as a running back for Kansas. Had a 10-carry game last year. A bullet over the middle, caught that time as he finds Jordan Thompson.
Devin Shaw on the tackle, but a little too late.
Chains move again for the Mountaineers. I'm seeing them go to the air a lot more on this drive, Brian, than maybe any drive we've seen them all day so far.
Well, they've got Kansas just so befuddled right now about how to defend that everything is open. It's Clint Bowen, the defensive coordinator, trying to find a play there that can make a stop. Can't worry about the score right here, Aaron. You can't look up and think, my goodness, how are we going to make up 35 points? You got to just do anything you can to make a stop, even force them to kick a field goal.
Smallwood able to spin out of it. First down, out of bounds.
Wendell Smallwood.
Well, the tackling has been terrible. I mean, they had Smallwood stop, but he refused to go down, and there was no game tackling.
Now we saw Smallwood do the same thing on his touchdown run back in the first quarter. Tenth play of the drive. Howard going to the pylon. He's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, West Virginia.
What a day for Howard on the ground. Well over 100 yards, and he adds a score.
And he takes hits just like that, but they haven't had any answer for him. I mean, just a simple read option fake, and Clint Bowen can't believe that he can't get the quarterback to the ground.
Josh Lambert, the junior from Garland, Texas. Now this first half just hasn't been a contest. Shell, a couple of scores on the ground. Smallwood ran one in as well, and this time it's the quarterback, Skyler Howard, who takes it in. Well, I mean, three different players rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, but this is just the pistol formation where the quarterback is reading the end. The end crashes. There's nobody forcing Skyler Howard from the secondary. There's nobody there. They're out of position all afternoon long. And Dana Holgorsen, who calls this trip to Kansas the Canadian division of the Big 12. And he wasn't really crazy about the way the schedule bore out this year, but they're well on their way to their third win in a row. Skyler Howard's enjoying this newfangled offense where everybody gets to carry it and put up big numbers. Ham it to the cameras, and got two more games in the Canadian division yet. Still got Iowa State and Kansas State left.
And a win today would secure bowl eligibility for West Virginia. Cox picks it up. Flags rain in. He takes it past the 20.
During the return, block in the back, receiving team, number 34, half the distance to the goal, first down.
That's on Aaron Plump. We take a look at this first half game summary, Brian.
Well, it's been the rushing attack for West Virginia. Russell Shell, first touchdown of the game for him. Wendell Smallwood has gotten into the act. Couldn't get him down to the ground. Terrell Chestnut picks off Ryan Willis and takes it to the house for pay dirt. And this is a runaway here for the Mountaineers.
Willis taken down right away, right near the goal line.
That's the nose tackle, Kyle Rose. Doesn't even have enough energy right now for a chest bump. Get up off the ground.
It's a loss of 6.
But I don't understand the protection. I mean, it's the offensive line is blocking the run, and Ryan Willis is keeping it for play action pass, and nobody blocks the nose tackle. I mean, that's just not the way it's drawn up.
Willis now in his own end zone. Gets rid of it quickly and misfires. Looking for Hartzog.
Well, I truly thought that this team was improving despite the 0-10 record, but this is a major setback from what David Beatty told us yesterday about just the effort, the commitment that the players have made in the practice field, but they're not taking it here to Memorial Stadium today.
The handoff to man. It's a little bit of room for the punting unit. These possessions, Brian, for Kansas.
The fifth 3 and out now. 5 3 and outs, and they've had a pick 6. I mean, that's what they've done offensively today. Had a first down and a penalty, but
just barely holding onto the ball each time.
Deep for West Virginia, number 5. Joe Von.
Not a whole lot of room for Matthew Wyman.
He's been busy today.
He really has. Little knuckler. That'll be to the 39 as we check in right now with Jenny Taft for a Fox College Football Game Break.
Aaron, thank you. Number 12, Michigan visiting Penn State, but maybe looking ahead to next week's matchup with Ohio State. Here, Christian Hackenberg connects with Saeed Blacknall, 25 yards for the score. The Nittany Lions take the lead 10-7 in the second quarter. Aaron, Brian, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Jenny. Short field, just over 4 minutes left in the first half. Once again, the draw. And Howard gets back to about the line of scrimmage.
Well, finally, Joe Dineen was there reading it. You would think by this point, when the running back goes out of the backfield right now, that's all they're looking to do is a quarterback draw. Empty set, nobody else back there. Figure out that the quarterback's going to keep it.
For Dineen, that's his 7th tackle. He's been busy.
West Virginia trying to slow it down a little bit here. They're not a team that likes to huddle. Just taking a little bit of time off the clock.
They give to Smallwood. He's strung out and tackled for a loss.
Say that again. Aaron, say that again.
Fletcher, a tackle for a loss.
I know. I mean, that's got to be the first one today, right? Marquise Roberts.
It is.
Got a little penetration that time. Yeah, finish that play off. Good job by Kapil Fletcher. Defensive tackle, getting some penetration.
3rd and 9. Howard gets rid of it to the running back Smallwood. Upfield, he's got a first down.
Well, it was a screen all the way, and they had a man on him, and Smallwood broke the tackle. Not an easy guy to bring down, so he keeps this drive alive.
This West Virginia offense began the game with the ball. They went 3 and out. They did not give the ball to Smallwood on that first drive. Wellman got 2 carries. And since then, they have been converting 3rd down after 3rd down.
Yeah. Full house backfield. We've seen this before today.
They had to shell. Not going far. Once again, it's Dineen on the tackle. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We have seen 4 rushing touchdowns from 3 different players offensively for West Virginia. On play action. Down the middle and knocked away.
That was a big time hit on Gibson there. Yeah.
Derek Neal came in with the hit.
Yeah, that's going to hurt too, man. That was right to the ribs of Shelton Gibson. He was unprotected on the play. Completely legal hit. Trying to get his 8th touchdown catch of the year, and that's right where he went with the shoulder to his ribs, and that's not going to feel good to Shelton Gibson. Oh, Neal needed to separate the man from the ball. He does that perfectly timed. Probably knocked the wind out of Shelton Gibson. Who knows what kind of damage it might have done to his rib cage.
Neal was shaken up too, but he looks no worse for the wear at this point. It's a matter of Shelton Gibson, sophomore out of Cleveland,
Oh, and he is their big play threat. I mean, on his 7 touchdown catches this year, he's averaged over 40 yards a touchdown catch. Thought he had one on there.
Well, they've tried to give him the ball here in the first half. He's got just 1 catch.
Yeah.
For 9 yards.
He's got tremendous speed. You see, he's got a flak jacket on, protecting some of the kidneys in the back, some of his ribs, but that shot was direct. Dana Holgerson out there taking a look, seeing just what's happened to him, and good to see him get up like that.
And it really is.
That's what they always talk about, the middle of the field and the kind of courage you need to, I don't know, do you have that kind of courage?
I don't think, after seeing that, Baldy, I mean, I thought maybe I did, but now.
You're better off in the kitchen cracking eggs.
Yeah, I think so. I'm with you there. Coming up on the Fox College Football Halftime Show, Rob Stone, Matt Leinart, and Dave Watstead in the studio. College playoff football chat. Number 10 Baylor, number 6 Oklahoma State. What a first half it's been. 42-0 West Virginia here.
Another 3rd down here where Kansas do something to try and make a stop.
The bootleg again. Howard directing traffic. Out of bounds.
Pass is incomplete.
Time that they brought a slot defender that time, and he was in a position on the bootleg to flush Howard and force that errant throw.
Looking for Nikhil Shorts.
Yeah. Kevin Shaw, I think, was one that forced this. One of the poor, maybe the only poor throw of Skylar Howard today. Who knows what's going to happen with this field goal attempt with this wind swirling the way it is.
There's Josh Lambert. Last week, only 1 field goal, 19 yards. Now that one, a block rather, as Kansas got a piece of it. That's something to cheer about for Kansas.
Sure is.
KU.
Anything is something to cheer about. They stopped him. I thought the timing was off here with Josh Lambert. With when the ball was snapped and held, it looked like he was ready to go too soon, and I don't think he ever got into his rhythm.
Oh, you're right. We see the stutter step right there.
Right there, yeah. Once the kicker, I don't care who it is, once he's out of his rhythm, that's everything. You practice those steps over and over and over again. And it wasn't blocked. It was just didn't have the full power that he normally has with the full rhythm.
Willis fires on a line towards the sticks, and is it caught? It's all in for a reception as he finds Jeremiah Booker.
Booker with his first catch against Chestnut. Kansas trying to be a little bit aggressive here with just over a minute.
Watch out, Willis. Flag comes down. As Kwiatkowski came in with a huge hit.
We have said that Kansas has gone through 4 different quarterbacks this year. Willis being
intentional grounding, offense, number 13. There was no eligible receiver in the vicinity, and the pass did not make the line of scrimmage. That's a loss of down at the spot of the foul, 3rd down.
Well, that was costly because they lose the down. You're going to see him. He's in the tackle box here. The ball doesn't reach the line of scrimmage. Kwiatkowski comes free, untouched. Yeah, he's just dumping the ball to save the sack. It's the right call, but it's a costly call. Stops the clock. You lose the down.
3rd and 13.
That makes it once again 3rd and long for Kansas. Just under a minute.
West Virginia had a chance here to get the ball back before the half.
He's got to go check and see if they want to take a timeout. They can take a timeout.
Kansas has
under a minute. Intentional grounding requires a 10-second runoff. To avoid the 10-second runoff, Kansas calls their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
Well, the most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken, and you can see him on The Herd every weekday at noon Eastern, only on FS1. It is not a pleasant day to be outside today.
Well, if you're going to be outside, that's not a bad way to be there.
That's game planning, Baldy.
Well, it is. You know, you've got the hood, right?
Yeah.
And you got all the fur around the hood. Then you got the blanket covering whatever's left in the hood. And it is kind of hard to watch if you're a Kansas fan. So maybe that's not a bad way to sit there right now.
That kind of sums up the first half.
Yeah.
But she's here. That's the important thing. 3rd and 13 for the Jayhawks. And time a handoff to Cox. Brian, if you are David Beatty, your first year as a head coach, coming off of really a spirited performance last week, almost an upset, a shocking upset win against TCU in Fort Worth. Your team has come out today and has just been gashed, nothing doing on offensively. What do you say at halftime after a performance like this?
Well, I don't think you go easy on them. I mean, I think you hammer them at halftime about the effort, the execution. You know, you got to let them know that it's 0-0 at halftime and we want to win the second half. You got to try to do 42-0 if they win 10-7, 10-3 in the second half, anything to try to find some sort of positive thing to take out of this game right now. And that's what you're trying to build. You're trying to build a future playing with, you know, so many freshmen, true freshmen out there playing.
UCF, the Knights lost on Thursday. Only 2 winless teams right now in the nation. Kansas trying to avoid its first winless season since 1954. One date remaining on the schedule against K-State. Takes a Kansas bounce. That'll be the end of the first half here from Lawrence. A first half that wasn't close. All West Virginia. First drive of the day for West Virginia. 3 and out, but since then, 4 rushing scores, 1 through the air, and a pick 6 as well. West Virginia running for nearly 300 yards in the first half. And right now, let's go down to the field. Leslie standing by with Coach Holgerson.
Well, Coach, 300 yards rushing in the first half. We talked about how your offense has evolved, but when you're running it like that, do you even need to throw it?
Well, we do continue to work on it. I mean, we're still a work in progress in the passing game with so many inexperienced receivers and all that. We need to work. So there were some times I didn't need to do it, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway.
What did you like about how your defense played? Pitched a shutout in the first half.
Oh yeah, they're motivated. They've been motivated the whole year, and they continue to do a good job.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Leslie, Coach Holgerson, thank you. 42-0. All West Virginia, the first half score here in Lawrence. Coming up next, we'll go to Los Angeles for the Fox College Football Halftime Show with Rob Stone, Matt Liner, and Dave Wanstead. It was not a pretty first half for the Jayhawks of Kansas. They have been shut out 42-0 by West Virginia, the most points the Mountaineers have scored in conference play this season. Aaron Goldsmith, Brian Baldinger, and Baldy, everything has gone right for West Virginia, especially the running game.
Yeah, you know, they came in and they basically said, look, this is what we are. This is our identity right now, and they've got 3 different players that can really carry it. You know, Russell Shell is going to start things off. He gets it going here in the second possession of the day, finishes that drive, and Wendell Smallwood a run right up the middle, little spin move at the end there to complete it. And you know, Skylar Howard has been a big part. He ran for over 100 yards, the quarterback, in the first half. He got a touchdown, 4 touchdown runs, and then defensively, I mean, it's been everything. They get the ball out on the first catch of the day for Kansas. How about Terrell Chestnut with the pick 6 here, taking that ball back to the end zone. One of the 6 touchdowns for West Virginia in that first half. And then, look, Kyle Rose is unblocked. I mean, it's about execution. West Virginia took advantage of the lack of it, and this is what the statistics look like. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, Kansas has 1 first down, 1 yard rushing, and the first down that they got was on a penalty. So it is dominant, almost 300 yards rushing for West Virginia. And look, in every category we could put up there, it's been a one-sided affair. And you just hope that Kansas can come out and just try and keep this thing as close as they possibly can, make this more competitive in the second half.
Well, as you were saying earlier, win the second half, even if the score doesn't turn out that way. That's the hope for David Beatty, first-year head coach for Kansas. Meanwhile, Dana Holgorsen, what a first half it has been for his crew. Skyler Howard has already thrown the ball more this week than he did all last week, but you can see the numbers there. He's really gotten it done with his legs on the ground, nearly 130 yards rushing. And then Shell, a couple of scores, Smallwood as well. As they've really spread the wealth in terms of the running game, the Mountaineers have 295 yards on the ground here in the first half. That's better than their season average for an entire game. West Virginia to kick things away to Kansas to begin things here in the second half. Chandler out of his own end zone to the 20. Good return here, just shy of the 30. Nice start for Kansas as we check in with Leslie.
Well, I talked to Kansas head coach David Beatty, who said in the first half they made as many mistakes as they possibly could. He said, in fact, we made as many mistakes as we've made all year. Coming into this game, they felt like they had a really good game plan offensively. He felt like his team panicked. So they're going to stick to the same plan here in the second half. Defensively, he said West Virginia has a really good scheme. We just got to be able to stop it, guys.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Play action on the first play of the second half and complete out towards the sideline. Good gain on first down for KU.
Well, just that simple catch there by Jeremiah Booker, the freshman out of College Station, Texas. I mean, that's a good start. Across the field, working against Rick Rump there, the corner.
Gain of 8 on first down. Play action again, long throw and a flag.
Well, that's a good call on Darryl Worley, the corner. Tackled the receiver on the play, so Kansas gets their second first down of the day and the second by penalty.
Looking at time for Patrick. And they like the arm strength of Willis, the freshman quarterback for KU, and that's a throw that they are confident that he can make.
He's throwing into a pretty good wind out there as well. That's gusting and swirling.
There is no foul for pass interference on the play. Third down.
Okay.
Yeah, so much for that.
Well, they threw the flag. I guess they thought it was an uncatchable ball, perhaps. But either way, Worley's not flagged. I apologize to you, Darryl Worley, out of my fair city of Philadelphia. Same high school as Matt Ryan. William Penn Charter High School.
So the incompletion makes it 3rd and 2. Kansas looking for its first down that has not come via a penalty on West Virginia.
Well, West Virginia plays this 3-3 defense, and they haven't figured them out on third down. Who's coming? Who's dropping? You got about 7 guys that look like they could come if they want to right now.
Can't get it out towards the sideline. Incompletion, 4th and 2. Pressure by Wachuku up the middle. And a flag again.
They brought one more than they could block. Wachuku was free. Flag on the play, so.
Holding offense, number 36. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's on Cox, the running back. 4th and 2.
They haven't, like Leslie said, they haven't figured out West Virginia's defense. They play this 3-3 style under Tony Gibson, and it's what Dana Holgorsen has wanted for a long, long time. And they're finally implementing it now in the second year.
Wyman, another punt for him today. Makes a Kansas roll. West Virginia leading 42-0 at the half. They're getting set to take over For the first time here in the second half, we look at their drive chart from half number 1, Brian.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see those long drives, a lot of them from just the running game, almost 300 yards rushing. So they pretty much did whatever they wanted to do. And we'll just see if, you know, Dana Holgerson, who told Leslie right before the end of the first half that they're going to throw it because they got to work on it. And Kansas is in their way right now.
The give to Smallwood. And he's met almost immediately, a minimal gain.
Well, what else you would like to see here from David Beatty's, you know, team in the red and the blue is just some better hits and getting some bodies on these running backs that are carrying the football and maybe popping the ball loose once or twice here in the second half. Just play with an attitude about you.
Back to Wellman. Right up the middle. He plunges forward. It looks like he's got enough for a first down.
I mean, he's a power back, but still, 3 guys had a chance to bring him down. Just got to wrap him up at that point.
West Virginia opened up conference play this year 0-4. They lost to the 4 best teams in the Big 12. Baylor, TCU, Oklahoma. They lost to Oklahoma State in overtime. Conference play did not start off well for the Mountaineers.
There you go.
It goes to Smallwood. But lately it's been a different story for West Virginia. Back-to-back wins entering today. Texas Tech and Texas both at home. So a chance today for a 3rd consecutive win. It would also mean bowl eligibility for Dana Holgerson and his Mountaineers. It would also be their first win on the road this season. The pass. Deep. Down the middle, wide open, and he overthrows his man. He's looking for Durant.
Well, Durant's got tremendous speed, and just a true freshman out of Hollywood, Florida. And Skylar Howard, you got to kind of gauge the wind when it's at your back right now. Put a little bit too much air behind it. The wind caught it. And even Durant, who's got tremendous speed, he just ran away from the defender, but he's been doing that against just about every opponent in the Big 12.
Durant 1 catch last week, 53 yards for a score.
Big play against Texas last week.
On 3rd and 6, the backfield empties out. Again through the air and a first down. Over the middle. This time it's Jordan Thompson.
Well, they'll play action pass that time where Howard had a chance to sort of reset his feet. Plenty of time off that play action to find Thompson in the middle of the field.
That's a pickup of 20. Give to Smallwood. First down inside the 20 before he's upended.
Ball carrier number 4, Wendell Smallwood.
Well, they averaged over 9 yards a carry in the first half. So, touchdown saving tackle, getting Smallwood down.
Again, Smallwood gets his number called, taken down by Corey King. Now for Wendell Smallwood, over 100 yards. That's the 4th straight game for Smallwood to top the century mark. He's at 104 on the day.
West Virginia playing 4 wide receivers, so they're spreading Kansas out and really limiting the number of guys that can defend the run right now.
Complete to the sideline and shoved out of bounds.
And Aaron, this formation is kind of what you're used to seeing for West Virginia. Back when they had guys like Tavon Austin and, you know, Mario Alford and Stedman Bailey, Kevin White, all these receivers that have come through here. But that really hasn't been a winning formula for Dana. They kind of pulled it in, gone to 2 backs in the backfield. Wellman's been their lead back for the last couple of weeks, but right now the way that they have a command of this game, they can do whatever they want, even go to an inverted wishbone as they do on this play.
They need a yard. And give it to Smallwood, leans forward, falls forward.
Wendell Smallwood.
Time it was Chevy Graham for the tackle.
Stop by number 90,
Doesn't look like they're giving them. Oh, here they're moving the sticks now, so officially a first down. First and goal from the 8.5. Got Cody Clay, the tight end, Wellman, the fullback back there with Smallwood.
Smallwood off the right side, keeps his feet, and is he in? He's in for the touchdown. He came to the ground but was on top of a defender, was not actually down, and he rolls in for the score.
Well, I guess that little visit by Dana Holgerson with Smallwood to the end zone this week to show it to him must have paid off, because he's found it now for a second time today. And this is just breaking a tackle right here, running right through the arms of Graham. And, ooh, he's down. That may get reviewed, so they may back this up, if it is, to about the half-yard line.
Of a touchdown is under further review.
That was a good look we just saw at it.
Yeah. Really good slow motion angle. Here's a good angle right here. Graham's bringing him down, and you'll see the backside of Smallwood hit the ground with the ball not, right here, with the ball still not in the end zone.
Pretty clear look at it. As it stands, it's Smallwood's second rushing touchdown of the day, but this one's coming back.
Well, he may have to get up off that knee and go back out there and maybe try it again. Smallwood, who came in on the day with 6 rushing touchdowns, had 1 for his 7th, trying to get his 8th.
After further review, the ball carrier was down and the ball is at the half-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from the half-yard line. The clock will start on the ready for play.
So that call is reversed, as you can tell pretty clearly. 2nd and not far at all for West Virginia.
I would pretty much expect maybe the same formation. A couple lead blockers for Smallwood and maybe another opportunity to get that 8th touchdown run of the season.
Smallwood entered today with only Shock Linwood of Baylor averaging more yards per game in the conference. He's topped the century mark for the 4th straight game. And we'll see if they call his number again here. 2nd and goal. They do. He's in standing.
They could have given it to the fullback, Wellman, that time. He would have scored just as easily. There's nobody in that B gap. Maybe the easiest touchdown run of the year for Smallwood.
His 2nd score today.
4th straight game with 100 yards. 4 more.
A lot of extra points today for Josh Lambert. 49-0 Mountaineers here in Lawrence. Uriah Faber joined an all-new season of The Ultimate Fighter. The mayhem continues Wednesday only on FS1.
People still talking about the loss last weekend of the women division.
That was huge.
Yeah, unbelievable, man. Ronda Rousey, no longer undefeated.
O'Toole boots it away from about the 1. Here's Taylor Cox. Out to the 25. So Kansas trying to find some points on this chilly Saturday afternoon.
Let's go Mountaineers, baby. Let's go.
It's been all Mountaineers, 49-0. Is
I don't know if he needs a whole lot of more. Let's go Mountaineers. I mean, it's been all Mountaineers. I don't know if any more cheering is going to help him.
It's worked.
I know for Ryan Willis, he's thrown a touchdown pass in 6 straight games. This would offset some of the pounding that they've taken today.
Willis airs it out. Deep throw, underthrown, jump ball.
Why not? Just throw it up there. Let one of those freshman receivers try and go get it. That's Booker, freshman at Texas, trying to win this jump ball. Pretty good job on the outside by Rick Rumpf, and we've talked about him quite a bit here today on the outside.
think about the season it's been for Ryan Willis. Michael Cummings out for the season, was projected to be the starter the spring game for an ACL. Montel Cozart was next in line, shoulder injury. Willis airs it out again. This time it's completed as he finds Kent Taylor.
Well, he's the tight end. He got matched up with the linebacker, Nick Kwiatkowski, this time. So just a little wheel route. Right now, trying to find any. Rob Likens, the offensive coordinator, just trying to find a play that could work, and that's been the best play so far today.
That is their first down outside of a West Virginia penalty. Last play was good for 27. Is now Willis taken down.
Well, you know, you mentioned the litany of quarterbacks that have all gone down to allow
DeAndre Ford as well.
Yeah, DeAndre Ford. Then they brought Montel Cozart back. Then he got hurt again, had the surgery. In essence, almost 5 different quarterbacks before Willis got his opportunity. Is the all-time freshman leading passer coming into today for Kansas.
On second and long, Willis slides.
No ball carrier is the quarterback, Ryan Willis.
Willis, who has been playing with 2 injured groins, has looked pretty healthy for the most part today, Baldy.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe turn a corner right there. I don't know if you get completely healthy while you're still playing.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, they're trying to get any positive yard they can. They had negative rushing yards at halftime.
They were outgained 295 to -1. Willis is striking the sideline, completed, and another first down. Tiptoeing the chalk, he finds Trey Parmalee.
Yeah, got a little bit of a drive going here. Parmalee just working on a little switch route right now. Catch West Virginia man-to-man coverage, and that was a good throw with a little anticipation by Willis.
Picks up 16. You can see the arm strength on the last throw from Willis.
Green.
Completed as Kenner makes a reception. Kenner opened up the season back-to-back 100-yard games, including running for 113 yards against number 21 Memphis, the most the Tigers had allowed to any player on the season, but has not been able to come close to those numbers in conference play.
Kenner out of Navarro Community College, one of the most coveted community college players in the country.
Willis floats it to the end zone, short and knocked away.
Yeah, K.J. Dillon had his hands on him. They thought they had another interception.
Good pressure from Jared Barber, 5th-year senior.
Yeah, I mean, Dillon's just covering the slot receiver by himself. He kind of does it all for this defense, covering Parmalee all the way down the field. West Virginia came in with 16 interceptions on the day. Got their 17th on a pick 6 in the first quarter by Terrell Chestnut, and Dillon almost had himself one. Second interception of the season if he could have held on to it.
This the longest drive of the day for the Jayhawks. 8th play coming up here.
They come. Got 7 coming after them.
Flag. And it's complete right at the sticks. You can hear what Dana Holgerson feels like.
Holding offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
Well,
Larry Hughes.
Larry Hughes, who has started every game at right tackle for this team this year, just a true freshman out of Carrollton, Texas. One of 3 freshman offensive linemen that played pretty good. He was on the outside. I don't know. Hey!
So that negates a first down completion. 3rd and 18. Willis to the end zone. Incomplete. Almost a leaping catch made right by the pylon as he was trying to find Steven Sims.
I think Sims had a great shot at it here. Beats Chestnut. He's got both hands on it.
Boy.
Just couldn't look it in. Great effort. Was going to need that type of effort in order to make that catch. So many true freshmen. Steven Sims, another one at the receiver position.
Going forward on 4th and 18. Willis out of the pocket now. Trying to buy some time. To the end zone. Has a man in the back. And knocked down.
Oh, he had Tyler Patrick back there. He wanted to get him. Kept that play alive as best he could, but Drayvon Askew-Henry was right there for it.
Turnover on downs for Kansas, their longest drive of the day by far. Now this one has stayed the same. All West Virginia, 49-0 here in the third quarter. We take a look at the Big 12 standings. What a season has been for Oklahoma State. And boy, a lot of contention between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State down this final stretch, Balding.
No question. Oklahoma State with two really important games as they face Baylor tonight and Oklahoma next week. Trying to stay undefeated. Nice job by Mike Gundy in Stillwater.
The hand to Shell going nowhere as Crest has stayed in the game as quarterback.
Yeah. Well, you know, Dana Holgorsen was kind of joking around with us this week, calling this the Canadian division of the Big 12, and we see the fans all wrapped up, and I don't know what that signal was from Dana, but I know he wishes he had gloves on to do it.
Hopefully, he at least has some pocket warmers.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to finish the season 8-4 with a 5-game win streak, and I mean I think that'd be a success. As many young players as he has a wide receiver.
Quarterback draw for Crest and a hard hit.
And this is why he calls it the Canadian division, is the last 3 games as we wait for the call.
Flag coming in after the play.
And there we go. Kansas, Iowa State, Kansas State. But this stretch here, Oklahoma, Baylor.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 91, headbutting the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. This is number 91's first unsportsmanlike act.
Boy, that's not a good thing for DJ Williams.
Just another freshman as he gets talking to by David Beatty, as he hopes to see the size of, I don't know if it was intentional. Like he was just sort of feeling pretty good about making a tackle for no gain, and Crest walked right up to him.
First down, West Virginia. Shell, another first down, and he's crunched at the 25. Been a big day for Shell, a pickup of 20. That time it was Greg Allen, the safety. Allen playing for the first time today in a few weeks since Oklahoma State.
Well, he had an unforeseen injury in the pregame warm-up a few weeks ago, and it was the type of injury that you don't even want to talk about. It was so horrendous, but he's back, and that's a good thing.
Again to Shell, getting strung out, stays on his feet. It was going to be a loss until that second effort. Marquise Roberts.
Well, I think, you know, when Russell Shell transferred from Pitt, he went to UCLA for a brief period, then he came back home here basically to West Virginia. These are the kind of afternoons that I think he expected to have regularly.
Really some thought that he would be the featured back this year after a strong season last year. But Smallwood has had just a monster season for West Virginia. He's over 1,000 yards for the season.
Yeah, and Dana was telling us as Russell Shell goes off the field that Smallwood, who's now back on the field, is one of the most intelligent players he's ever coached. When he was a freshman, he followed Charles Sims around, who's now plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and learned everything from him and absorbed as much as he could, and now he's really a two-way threat. Great receiver, and obviously they're featured back right now.
Well, the rushing yards, you just can't even, you think it's a typo and it's not. Spike to the ground. Thompson, the man he was looking for. That was Joe Deneen, who got a piece of it.
Well, what's not a mirage is West Virginia's ability to run the football and how this offense has completely shifted. Ran for 300 yards 2 weeks ago in a win against Texas Tech, 257 yards last week in a victory against Texas, and now on their way to 400 yards here today. And those Hogs up front, we haven't talked enough about them, but they've been a big part and a responsible part for the success on the ground.
Going for it on 4th and 4. Crest, a strike, and just out of the grasp of David Sills.
Sills would like to have that one back.
Converted quarterback, at least for now.
Sills just going to run a quick slant. Crest's going to put it. Sills just has to go down and make sure that he at least can cradle that one in. Crest, one of the recruited to Southern Cal when he was just in 7th grade.
Can you believe that?
No, I don't. I didn't know it was possible. 7th grade, I didn't even like the shoulder pads just looked stupid on me. Looked like it was a Halloween outfit.
Willis and the Jayhawks offense take over. 1st and 10, they start on the ground. And a nice gain here on 1st down. Taylor Cox up the middle. Picks for 1st down. Now, you know, Brian, you were talking near the final moments of the 1st half about a possible message for David Beatty, first-year head coach for Kansas, trying to find his first win as a head coach, to his players to win the 2nd half. And although no points yet for Kansas, we have seen them stifle the offense somewhat. And this ball gets whacked away for West Virginia. And they've been able to pick up some 1st downs, which is comical as it might be to say that that is some improvement. It really is based on the not really the whole 1st half. Yeah,
I mean, you're just trying to find, any ray of hope here to stay positive, especially with so many young players. You just don't want to get them beaten down and to lose, confidence at such an early stage of their careers.
Quick strike, Parmalee. Jayhawks starting to move the ball a little bit.
Trey Parmalee, the same high school in Kansas City, Bishop Miege, that Ryan Willis went to.
Father, a nice long career in the NFL.
Yeah.
Parmalee's really been the most consistent receiver for Kansas this year.
Boy, West Virginia, I don't think they want them to cross midfield. They don't have any safeties back right here. They're just look like they just called the blitz off. They back off a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Willis to pass, has some time. And now checks down out of the backfield. Minimal gain there as he finds Kenner.
That's a good hit. Good hit as the 3rd quarter just ended in the open field on Kenner.
We're headed into the 4th quarter here in Lawrence, West Virginia, all over the Jayhawks. West Virginia 1 quarter away from their first win on the road this year. It would make them bowl eligible. Wrapped up in the backfield.
No chance.
That was Xavier Preston taking down Taylor Cox. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, they're blitzing to stop the run. He came from the backside that time and came in untouched. So just attacking the line of scrimmage.
And once again, 3rd and long. And it seems like every 3rd down today for Kansas has been a minimum of 7 yards.
No, they haven't completed many of them.
Kenner, the man of the backfield. Willis unloads out of bounds. Flags raining in. Xavier Preston, the man in coverage.
Well, he's a linebacker out there covering. He's kind of accidental contact, but nonetheless, the ball was in the air, so defensive pass interference would be the call.
pass interference, defense, number 5, spotted the foul, automatic first down.
That was Kent Taylor, the tight end, he was manning.
Well, Taylor caught a wheel route like that earlier in the third quarter against Kwiatkowski. Xavier Preston is in for Kwiatkowski right now. His backup.
First and 10 for Kansas. Give to Kenner.
Wow, is he up in the air?
He's up in the air.
They lifted him up and carried him in the air. Little fight breaks out. Larry Mazik.
That's Benson, number 17, you see.
Here he comes. There he is. He's lifted now, and now he's being carried like on a float. Little Draymond Askew Henry with the head. I've never seen that. One of the better plays for Kansas today is it was just a full scrum. I seen Springsteen floated like that into the audience. I haven't seen a running back in college football do that.
Only 4 seconds to get it snapped, and here's the timeout call by Willis.
Kansas.
They'll step aside. Kansas calling the timeout. 2nd and 6 when we come back. Ford, the Friends and Neighbors pricing event is happening now at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. So Mountaineer fans.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
Second and 4. Willis throws, deep ball, hangs up, and let's see if they rule the interception. Douglas able to come away with it. That ball really hung up.
Well, he had the receiver open too. I don't know if it bounced off him. It looked like it was a good throw from up here.
Looking for Hartzog.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Hartzog was the deep threat. Douglas comes down with it, so hung up there a little while. Douglas went right over the top of him.
Able to hold on.
What a great play by Douglas. And yeah, the emotion of Ryan Willis, can't believe, because he knew he had Hartzog open.
That's incredible he was able to hold on to that.
I know, and that's the 18th interception of the season for West Virginia. That's the best in the Big 12.
And they came in 4th in the nation in interceptions. Long field here. Ball on the 1-yard line. Crest, who was taking over the quarterback duties in the second half, his longest completion of the day, as he finds Gary Jennings. Only 4 catches this year for Jennings. All came in the same game versus Liberty way back in September.
Been a while, huh?
Been a long while.
Stone Underwood. Let's take a look at Douglas here and how he took that right away from Hartzog, right over the back of him. Great job of hanging on, squeezing it. Put that one on his resume reel.
Draw. A play that worked so well for West Virginia in the first half, as Crest is able to pick up the first down.
Well, that little fake, he just gets the defense just to bite hard on the outside. This West Virginia contingency. Probably got in their RV, drove across the country here.
It's a pretty good road trip.
Yeah, huh? Not many people are willing to do that. Brave the elements that sometimes the Heartland has this time of the year.
Right through the hands and off the face mask. Right now we'll check in with Leslie.
Well, guys, you have talked all day about how good this West Virginia running game has been. Let me put it into perspective for you. This is the first game since 1968, when West Virginia played Texas Wesleyan, that they've had 3 guys with more than 100 yards rushing apiece.
That's pretty good perspective. That's staggering.
It is, and it's a pretty good piece of information from Leslie down there on a brutally cold day to come up with it.
First carry today, Jackie Marcellus
in
the backfield.
Well, those 3 running backs all on the sidelines now.
And there you can see, since 1938.
Wow, even longer.
3 players over 100 yards.
Well,
one of them is the quarterback.
And Dayton said he's had a lot of fun. you know, just changing this offense and challenging his staff and his offensive line coach, running back coaches, and players that this is the best formula to win games for the Mountaineers right now.
On 3rd and long, incomplete to the 45. And time looking for Devontae Mathis. Those 3 players we were talking about, Howard, along with Smallwood and Shell, the running game for West Virginia, 342 yards today for those 3 alone. Parmley chasing after it. From inside the 10, he's got nowhere to go. Another long punt. Nick O'Toole, biggest leg in the Big 12, 49-0 West Virginia. A healthy lead for West Virginia is right now we check in with Jenny Taft in Los Angeles for a Fox College Football game break.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, Purdue was making things interesting with undefeated Iowa down just a touchdown at this point until C.J. Beathard connects with George Kittle, 35 yards for the score. The 5th-ranked Hawkeyes are now up 33-19 in the 4th quarter. Aaron, Brian, sending it back to you.
That's a good update there on Iowa. Team everybody's looking at down the stretch as the marker gets taken out. 2nd and 10 for Kansas. Willis has had a rough one today. That being said, he entered this afternoon as KU's all-time freshman passing leader in school history.
Going back to what Jenny said about Iowa, they have 1 game left at Nebraska to try and finish undefeated this year.
Ryan Shadler getting the carry. Haven't called his name today.
No, but the results are the same. They just haven't moved this line of scrimmage. This 3-man front has been a puzzle that Kansas has not figured out all day. And it's a stunning moving group up front. Linebackers are filling behind it, and they just haven't been able to really move the line of scrimmage. It's a credit to the 3-man front, to what Tony Gibson has been doing with this defense.
And Willis just has not been able to get much going through the air. 13 for 36. Really, Kansas came out today firing the ball. They wanted to throw early. Willis gets rid of it, and a drop. We've seen too many of those for Kansas. That time right through the hands of Parmley.
That's way too many for Trey Parmley today. I mean, he has been a dependable receiver. That ball was at a perfect spot on the run with a chance to run for the 1st down, and we've seen him drop 3 of those today.
How much of that do you put on the cold, Brian?
Well, I mean, it's the first game all year that had to play in the elements, but if you're a receiver and you come to Kansas to play, you're going to get some of these days in November for sure.
11th punt today off the leg of Matthew Wyman. Here's Jennings. That'll be a short field for this West Virginia running game, which today has been nearly unstoppable. Mountaineers taking the field when we come back. A look at today's U.S. Navy game summary. Kansas has not been shut out yet this season, but they are headed down that path. It has been all West Virginia.
And West Virginia has shut out an opponent. Georgia Southern, the first game of the season in Morgantown, 44-0.
Press to pass, incomplete. 2nd and 10. So Skyler Howard has had this entire 2nd half off, and probably a smart move for Holgerson.
This is the 3rd week in a row that West Virginia has run the ball 50 times or more in a game, and today approached close to 400 yards. That man, Skyler Howard, had well over 100 of them himself. Remember this trip to Lawrence, Kansas. That's his day today. 9 rushes, 129 yards, almost untouched on some of those.
Over the middle and almost caught. A leaping attempt there, K.J. Myers. Sets up 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's a 3 wide receiver set. Here is the open in the middle of the field. Good effort. little high by Crest, but you know, they used to say, if you could touch it, you could catch it. That's what all receivers should think.
And Marcellus on 3rd and 10. Well short of the first down as Joe Dineen, boy, what a busy day Dineen has had. The score would prove otherwise or would indicate otherwise, but
well, somebody's got to make those tackles.
Yeah, he's been in on just about everything for Kansas.
Well, he's had over 15 tackles today. Came in as the second leading tackler on this football team, and those shoulders are going to feel a little sore tomorrow, I promise you.
And remember, this has been without Fish Smithson.
Yeah.
Leading tackler, one of the best tacklers in the country. Chasing that man's record, Clint Bowen, defensive coordinator for most tackles in a season by Kansas defensive back. Trying to save it into the end zone. A step aside from Lawrence. Under 10 minutes to go today from Lawrence, Kansas. All West Virginia 49-0. As we take a look at Terrell Chestnut, today's Bass Pro Shops catch of the game. This came early and it resulted in 6 points for West Virginia.
Messed up right in front of Steven Sims Jr. and timed it perfectly, took the ball away from him, and then finished it with a pick six into the end zone. West Virginia went up 14-0 at that point, and they never have looked back. Just a dominant performance by the entire defense. That was probably the biggest play by the defense.
Chestnut also had a forced fumble the possession before that. New quarterback in the game for Kansas, TJ Millward. And a good gain up the middle on the ground.
And that was not a friendly play that time by the umpire.
Yeah, that was Kenner.
Yeah, Jim Adams is the umpire. He couldn't get out of the way. Probably so shocked that Kansas broke a run. He got caught right in the line of fire, and that's one of the reasons why in the NFL they've taken the umpire and moved him behind the line of scrimmage to avoid getting hit like that. That's not good. See some of the guys out there checking on him. 8 referees in the Big 12, center umpire and the referee behind the line of scrimmage, but they still have the true umpire, Jim Adams, there, right where the middle linebacker is usually at.
Millward, a UCLA transfer out of Colleyville, Texas, a junior. Really has not played. Attempted only a couple of passes last year in garbage time. But a chance here with under 10 minutes left. Man gets the handoff. Tries to turn upfield.
Well, this is a dubious distinction, but how many teams could say that they've had 5 different quarterbacks play?
That's true.
For their team this year. Anytime that happens, you're probably not pretty good. Probably have struggled a great deal with injuries and lack of performance.
I get on the ground. Good hole here for Mann. Keeps his feet past the 40 and finally out of bounds. Biggest play of the day on the ground for Kansas.
DeAndre Mann getting a quick split right up the middle. This time Adams gets out of the way. The umpire comes right at him. He's not going to get hit again. And like you said, DeAndre Mann, best run of the day for the Jayhawks.
Pick up a 25 before Marvin Gross Jr. knocked him out. Kansas trying to avoid the shutout today. They stick on the ground. They go to Cox. Not going far.
Yeah, but they are trying to avoid the shutout, Aaron. And if they can score here, at least the second half would show a 7-7 game. Now, the first half, you can't do anything about that. But you'd love to be able to just point to something positive with so many young players that they played a really good West Virginia team even in the second half. So that's one of the things a touchdown here could do for David Beatty and his team.
That'd be helpful going into the final week for Kansas. They've got K-State coming up on the schedule.
A little stutter that time by Mann.
Cox, not enough for a first down. That's a pickup of 11, so some big chunks of yards for Kansas here in the fourth quarter on this drive.
Taylor Cox, who had a 3-yard touchdown run for the Jayhawks in last week's game at TCU, where they lost just 23-17, had some fourth quarter opportunities to win that game.
And get to Cox, right side. Since 2001, the Jayhawks 2-41 in conference play. They picked up a win against Iowa State last year. That was here in Lawrence. And a win against these Mountaineers 2 years ago right here in Lawrence.
Well, they haven't had success since Mark Mangino was here. And David Beatty was on that staff, and Clint Bowen. So they know what Mark Mangino did in order to turn this program around. And that's the big challenge for this coaching staff now.
It's time to pass to the end zone, and West Virginia comes down with another interception. That's Nana Cairo.
Well, it's not a fluke when you just pick off your 19th pass of the season, that one away from Booker. I mean, they're just taking the balls away from these Kansas receivers. All 3 interceptions have been jump balls, and all 3 times West Virginia's come down with it. And this is just what this is. It's a jump ball thrown by Millweird, and Kyron comes down with it. The reaction is the same, the results are the same.
Last week, this defense for West Virginia, 5 turnovers they forced at home against Texas today. They forced 4.
Yeah.
A forced fumble, 3 interceptions. Pressed, upended.
That's going to be the old Charlie horse. That one was right on the thigh.
That was Glatzik.
Yeah, went low on him. There's not enough thigh pad there to protect against a hit like that. He's going to gut it out, try to stay in, but he may really feel that by tomorrow.
Quick pass to the outside. Springy loose up the sideline. And finally forced out of bounds. Ricky Rogers. We haven't seen much of him today. Long gain here.
Yeah, and that's just a hit screen to the outside. I mean, that's just understanding where your help is. You're going to catch this ball, you've got to go outside and force him back into your help in pursuit, and they don't do that.
Big pickup makes it 1st and 10.
Hey, somebody with a Skylar Howard jersey, huh?
It's a gain of 55.
Yeah.
Marcellus gets the ball. You know, Brian, this year for West Virginia, it's really been a tale of a few different seasons. You look at how they started this season.
Yep, 3-0.
3-0, some dominating wins, Georgia Southern, Liberty, and then Maryland. And then 4 straight losses. They really had to run through the gauntlet of the Big 12.
They did, and all 4 of those teams were ranked at the time, all in the top 20. And, of course, the narrow loss to Oklahoma State, which Dana feels so close to, have spent time there. But, you know, an overtime loss to Oklahoma State, but they went through the 4 toughest teams in the Big 12, came out 0-4, and now are trying to put together a 5-game win streak to finish the season.
Picked off. Picked off by Kansas. Derek Neal looking for Jennings. That's something to smile about for Kansas.
Yeah. Get the pom-poms going. I mean, just anything positive at this point. Stop a score, and I don't know, anytime you can get an interception the way Neal did on this play. Young player to Dallas, took the ball away from Jennings, fought for position. I'm sure William Kress isn't happy about that result. You know, Clint Bowen is.
2nd interception for Bowen's defense today. But West Virginia now winners of 2 in a row, looking to win another today. Their first road win that would secure bowl eligibility. Preston Randall in the backfield gets the handoff barely.
I think the adjective to use for this West Virginia run defense is they have surrendered yards grudgingly. I mean, they had just built this wall, and looking at Keon Houghton, the center, they haven't got much movement against these 3 down defensive linemen all day.
And off this time. Now we're going to Cox. This Kansas offense, 26 different starters this year. I think that Taylor Martin in the backfield. Now the bench is really starting to get emptied a little bit here in the final moments today. And then again, DeMartin runs into his own quarterback, Millward, and is able to lunge forward. First down for Kansas.
Good effort that time by Martin, bouncing off a tackle. Haven't seen much of that kind of effort today from the running backs. The challenge for this Kansas offense is still the same, to get that goose egg off the board and get points on it here before this clock runs out.
Here's Chandler. Well, Kenneth Dixon on display after this one's over with today. Louisiana Tech at UTEP. Trying to set an FBS record. Going after Monty Ball.
How about that? Some career here for Dixon. Reynolds, of course, been the all-everything quarterback for Navy, and what a year the midshipmen are having.
It's Shadler once again in the backfield. He needs 3 yards, won't get it. Brings up third down for the Jayhawks. Daniel Wise was part of the wall there for Jaleel Fields. Third down has not been kind to Kansas today. They're 2 for 14.
Ouch.
On third down. And up to Martin, tripped up immediately. Fourth down.
Well, Sean Walters came right through, and these are some of the interceptions here today. 3 of them. In total, this one by Chestnut resulted in a touchdown. A couple different guys with their opportunities today took advantage of it. This last one.
Some really athletic interceptions.
Yeah. Hiram with the last one. Yeah, I mean, all of them taking the ball away in the air, just using their body. Good ball skills. And believe me, sometimes cornerbacks are cornerbacks because they don't catch it too well. They move from receiver to corner. But today, they've caught the ball well.
Now we talk about the defense. Wendell Smallwood as we take a look at the Fred Loya Insurance Player of the Game.
Well, not surprising. He's been the most dynamic player all year. Little power football this time. Pulling the right guard, Kyle Bosch. Finished it off here from the half-yard line, kind of untouched. Russell Shell, pretty much same forwards, 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. This one, the first one of the day. Got West Virginia on the board. A lot of yards straight up the middle.
West Virginia for 25.
Marcellus, the running back, gets the carry and dragged down immediately in the backfield. Good penetration there by Daniel Wise.
Yeah, let's take a look at the 2 backs, Smallwood and Shell. We talked about them at the very beginning of the show. Both of them over 100, both of them well over 6 yards a carry, a couple touchdowns apiece. Believe me, they'll enjoy those stats on that plane ride home to Morgantown tonight.
And they've combined for well over 200 yards apiece, or combined rather. This time it's the quarterback, Crest, keeping it. And he picks up more yards in this ground game for West Virginia.
Now they haven't stopped the quarterback keeper all day. It didn't matter who was running it. Howard, Crest. They haven't figured out that he's able. He's got that thigh bruise that we saw from the last series. He's still hobbling around. He still picks up a big chunk, hobbling down the sideline.
3 players over 100 yards rushing today for West Virginia. First time they've done that since 1938. The question today, Brian, was how would this Kansas defense be able to stop the ground game for West Virginia, which has carried the load for each of the last 2 weeks, both being wins. And we knew it would not be an easy task as Rodgers is driven out of bounds. This is tough for any defense to face a running game like this, especially a defense that is as young and inexperienced in so many ways.
It is. It is. And, you know, I mean, Dana will take it. He's enjoyed it today. But, you know, for Kansas, they have to somehow learn from this and make sure that this doesn't happen again against Kansas State as they try desperately to win a conference game.
Kansas shut out for the first time this year as they drop to 0-11. Meanwhile, West Virginia, their 3rd straight win. It's their first win on the road this season. And Dana Holgorsen and his West Virginia football team, they have secured a bowl berth with their win today. The Mountaineers have now won 3 in a row. And right now we'll go down to the field. We check in with Leslie.
Well, Coach, over 400 yards rushing and a shutout by your defense. What are you most pleased with today?
Well, I was just happy with the way the guys came to work today. You know, I mean, we worked all week on, you know, coming here on the road. We hadn't won on the road yet, so getting on the road, you know, creating our own energy on the sidelines. These guys hit the field in pregame, and they were ready to play. I was proud of them.
Yeah, your first road win. Now your team is bowl eligible. What does that do for their confidence as you guys look to the end of the season?
Oh, I don't think it does anything for our confidence. We haven't lost sight of the fact that we've been thinking we were a good football team since day one. You know, went through a tough October, but we're back in the winning on the winning side. Got to 6. That's a milestone that everybody tries to achieve. But the season's long from over. We got 2 games and now 3.
2 very good running backs we saw out here today. How does that change your philosophy going forward?
Well, I think our leading rusher was Skyler.
Yeah, he was on there too.
So I think 300-yard rushers, 300-yard rushers in a 400-and-some-yard day. I don't know what offense this is, but proud of the guys.
And all the interceptions by your defense as well. How have they hit their stride?
Well, Gibby was getting a little irritated here. He wanted to make sure that we got a shutout. But we've done a great job of getting turnovers all year, and that's why we're having some success.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Good luck in your last couple games.
All right, thank you.
All right, Leslie, Coach Holgorsen. Well, Baldy, this one wasn't pretty in a lot of ways, but it continues to confirm what we've seen in recent weeks for West Virginia.
Well, we started out saying that, Aaron, you know, that this is now a running football team. It's the best way that they have to win right now. It rests their defense, and it's a good formula. And I think it's going to continue the final 2 weeks of the season as they go through the Canadian division.
That's right.
Of the Big 12.
They've got the personnel for it. What do you take away from Kansas after this one?
Well, this is a step back for sure. You know, it just is. I don't care how many freshmen and first-time players you have. It's a step back from what looked like, you know, an improved football team, especially with the effort they played with at TCU. And they're going to go back and really address some things because they couldn't get lined up correctly today. They couldn't run the ball. I mean, they didn't do anything well today. And so you got to learn from it, though, especially when you're a young team.
Well, that'll do it from Lawrence. West Virginia upends Kansas 49-0. Coming up next for many viewers, more Fox College football. Our coverage continues at 3:30 p.m. Eastern with Louisiana Tech taking on UTEP. For Brian Baldinger, Leslie McCaslin, and our entire Fox Sports crew, I'm Aaron Goldsmith. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of Fox College football.